did I learn 6 languages? I will share with you my secrets, and I'm sharing with you the 3 best strategies that will help you take your English learning journey to the next level. So, I speak English, of course, and I speak German. Ich finde die deutsche Sprache mega, aber die deutsche Aussprache, also ist es wirklich schwierig für mich. I also speak French. Un peu la diams, quoi, wesh poupée. And I speak Arabic. أنا أتكلم اللغة العربية الفصحى مثل الجزيرة. And I speak Turkish. Tabii ki Türkçe biliyorum. Şaka bile yapabilirim. But and I speak Spanish. Yo entiendo mucho, pero no puedo siempre responder en español. Let me tell you how I learned Turkish, my 4th language, at the age of 23. I moved to Turkey. I had never been there before, nor heard the language. Everything was new. I was lost. So what I did was the following. Step 1. I started learning basic Turkish for like 15 or 20 minutes. So I had Duolingo. It's an app that I would recommend for people who are A1 to B1, not advanced students. And after a month, I knew around 100 words. I could say merhaba, nasılsınız, like very basic, hello, how are you, stuff like that. At that moment, I signed up for A1 classes. You can ask me, why didn't you just start with the A1 classes immediately? The problem would be, if I had attended the classes immediately, I would have felt very frustrated because I know that the teacher will just start explaining things very fast and everything's new, I don't understand anything, and probably I would have given up. So first I trained my ears and I got used to the basics. Then when I knew a little bit, I attended a course where I could understand a little bit more. And then I was studying. Even though I was living in Turkey and studying Turkish, I couldn't really have a conversation for, like, let's say, my first 8 months. And I was so frustrated. I couldn't understand. Why couldn't I speak? I was having lessons. I was doing everything, but I couldn't communicate. Until one day, I met this friend of a friend. And she didn't speak any English, by the way. And we had like a project in common, and I really wanted to communicate with her. So we started using body language, and she started teaching me every time we met 2-3 phrases. I was forced to remember the words that I learned, and trust me, within 3 months, I was able to joke. What's the point of this story? If your teacher speaks your mother tongue, you are very unlikely to make giant steps or to progress really fast because you have a comfort zone. If I don't speak in Italian to her, she understands English and you can answer that. But if you feel like, oh my God, I really want to say this to you and you don't speak my language, yes! And then words are gonna start flowing out of your mouth. So my advice is to gradually follow these steps. If you are a beginner, find an easy app, attend a course, find a teacher who, in the beginning, your teacher should speak your language to be able to explain more complicated things for you. If you're a B student, if you're a B1 student, absolutely you need a teacher who does not speak your mother tongue. That way, you will start learning super, super fast. And find a teacher that you like, someone who you want to talk to and tell stuff. Second strategy. Number 1 mistake that you are making is the following. I find that students always want to say the exact same thing in their language and try to translate this word or expression word for word. I want you to remember that a language is a living organism. It's a living thing, and it summarizes your culture. And therefore, it's impossible for it to be identical to another culture. You know how cultures are different? Languages are different in the same way. Let me give you an example. In England, where English is spoken, the weather is cold. In Saudi Arabia, where Arabic is spoken and originated, the weather is hot. Now, in these two countries, their expression of happiness or the feeling of, oh, I'm relieved, is completely different. In England, warmth is considered something good. In Saudi Arabia, feeling cold or cool is something good, because the weather is very hot. So if you hear amazing news, an English-speaking person would say, "Oh, thank you. Your invitation warms my heart." An Arabic speaker would say, "Your invitation freezes my heart." They both mean the same thing, but it's said in such a different way. By the way, go ahead, like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss my future videos. Let me give you another example. In English, the structure is the following: subject, verb, and object. In Turkish, the structure is different. We have an object, a verb. And in German, you can put them anywhere as long as you master your dative. So, what to do? The answer is shadowing. What does shadowing mean? You need to simply copy native speakers. Mirror whatever they're saying. Be their mirror. Learn by heart these expressions. Train your ears. In my language, we say, I go to the home. In English, we say, I go home. Why? I don't know. I don't care. I'm just going to learn it the way it is. I don't know why Turkish people say seni çok seviyorum, or why Germans say heute habe ich den Schlüssel gefunden. It's like the verb is at the very end. So what the person is trying to tell you is most of the time a surprise. You need to wait until the very last word to know what they're trying to say. I don't know. I don't care. I'm just gonna use it exactly the same way. I see a German person, I switch my brain to German mode. Whatever I heard based on my experience, I'm going to copy it and mirror it. So stop trying to find a logic when you're learning a language. Most of the time, there isn't. Languages are very random and people created them. And so just listen, absorb, repeat again. Once you start shadowing, then you're going to sound more like a native speaker because you're going to copy the way they pronounce words. You're going to start using more native, natural expressions, and your communication is going to improve so much more. If you tell me that there are no native speakers around you, what's better than watching TV? You have Angelina Jolie, whatever, any show on Netflix. Just watch them and repeat. Yeah, just do that. And you will see how it works. Train your ears. Since a very young age, I was speaking 3 languages, actually 4. I learned English, French, and Arabic. But actually, I speak 2 Arabic languages. I speak the Tunisian dialect, like this. I want to say, let's eat food. خلينا ناكلوا ماكلة. This is Tunisian. And this official standard Arabic would sound like this. سوف نأكل الطعام. So they're like two different languages. I learned Arabic at school, and between the two of us, the official standard Arabic is the language I struggle most with, and I find it really difficult. Speaking and knowing all of these languages means making mistakes in all of them and forgetting words in all of them, and also having an accent. Whenever I speak German, people think that I'm French. When I speak French, people think that I'm American. When I speak English, people always tell me, native speakers would tell me, I can't really put my finger on it. Where are you from? My third strategy. Now let me tell you about my Spanish journey. I went to Barcelona in 2018 and I fell in love with the city, the culture, the food, the people, the music, everything. I was like, I love this place. And back then I was living in Turkey. So I was like, okay, let's start learning Spanish. So I hired a teacher who spoke English. And again, I started with Duolingo. Every day I set my alarm, started learning for 10 minutes. And then after some time, we were having our lessons. We were getting along really well. But I improved to a point. And then I reached a plateau. And then I became more lazy. I started forgetting what I learned. And then I moved to Germany and I had to start learning German. So I forgot everything in Spanish. So why am I telling you this? When I tried to learn Spanish, I loved the language, but I had no real motivation. My job didn't depend on Spanish. Where I live did not require Spanish. My motivation, even though I really loved the language, I didn't have the right motivation to push me and to keep me going when things got harder. And it's very likely that this is the same for you too. If you're learning English for the sake of learning, then on some days you're gonna feel motivated, on other days you're gonna feel less motivated, and at some point you're gonna reach a plateau and then you're gonna give up. However, if you have a target, I know that companies can give you a raise if you can prove that you are fluent in English. Let's say if you would like to move to a country where you speak English. So if you have the right motivation and the right reasons to learn English, then you are more likely to succeed. So what do you need to do? First, set a target. I am B1. Now, let's say today is January 15th. I'm B1. I would like to be B2 by June 15th. So you're giving yourself 6 months. So here you have your target. I need English, or I need to take this proficiency test, let's say IELTS, to continue my master's degree. Or I would like to travel and start living abroad. This is another reason. Or I would like to have another position, and in this position, I need to speak English. Or no, I would like to learn English in general to be able to communicate when I travel. So first, set a measurable and tangible target. Don't just learn for learning. Know exactly where you are and where you're going. Because if you don't have this, it might as well become very frustrating. Knowing this will help you decide how much time you're going to spend learning English every week or every day. your budget, and how much money you're gonna spend on apps, on teachers, and of course, how to feel about your progress. Do you need to measure your progress or not? So these are the most important strategies that you need to consider when learning English. I hope this video was useful for you. And of course, the best way to get there is by practicing more. That's why you should check this video and keep on learning.